Okay, turn it off. That's all we can afford.
What's going on, you guys? Steve here. This one is going to be a little different. I figured today we could talk about psychology. I know what you're thinking. I'm a DJ, you subscribe for DJ content. Where is this going? Trust me, let me cook. So I'm equally frustrated and fascinated by the psychological aspect of music. Some things I've always been curious about are why fans hype up certain artists rather than others, why people tend to support celebrities more than their actual friends who make music, why even if you do achieve success in music, it seems like you're on a timer until fans get over it and find a cooler, fresher artist. There's so many factors that dictate the direction of music careers. A big one is social proof. For months I said I was going to make this video, and today is the day. Social proof, also known as the bandwagon effect, is a psychological phenomenon where people follow the actions of others to fit in. There's so many trolls in comment sections out there who will tell artists to shut up, don't speak on your experiences, post 24/7 and just get good. There's so many factors, both internal and external, that impact things. This behavior has been studied by psychologists for almost a century. I'd argue that social media made social proof matter more than it ever did before, but it's existed for a long time, long before smartphones. Social proof honestly takes many forms: following fashion trends, copying slang, eating overpriced food because some talking head on TikTok told you to, watching a movie because your friend said it's good, avoiding a movie because your friend said it sucks, playing the song with the most streams and views when you discover a new artist. Whether we realize it or not, social proof is all around us. One of the first social proof studies was conducted in 1951 by Solomon Asch. No, not that Solomon, this Solomon. He's considered a pioneer in the field of social psychology. The results of his social experiments have been replicated for years with very consistent results. In one of his first experiments, he told 50 college students that they were going to take a vision test. Unbeknownst to them, he put them all in rooms with volunteers that were in on the study. He would get all of his assistants to answer questions wrong on purpose, and the college students would answer last.
The subject denies the evidence of his own eyes and yields to group influence. This subject's yielding is based on a distortion of his judgment. He genuinely believes that the group is correct. In this case, the subject knows he is right, but goes along to avoid the discomfort of disagreeing with the group. Asch's experiment is a classic. It reveals how people will deny what they see and submit to group pressure.
He found that in 12 trials, over 75% of those college students would copy the wrong answers of his assistants. Asch also did another study where he told assistants to go into an elevator and stand in oddly specific directions. He found more often than not, whenever random people entered the elevator, they would copy the group and stand in that same direction, no matter how quirky their direction was. So how does something like this impact your music career? Social proof dictates that people like your posts, play your songs, come to shows, or show any signs of interest in your existence. Trolls in comment sections will say you suck if your friends aren't supporting you, but there's so much nuance. It ultimately boils down to people feeling safe supporting you. Nobody wants to be out on an island by themselves. Even if your music is good, people might not support you just because they don't see other people supporting it. It's really that simple. This is called consumer conformity. When people don't know what to do, they follow the herd. This could be jumping on the hype train for an artist who's buzzing on social media, or it could be just ignoring an artist because you don't see a bunch of comments and emojis and people saying how great they are. So what does this look like in action?
So let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons from it. First, of course, you know, a leader needs the guts to stand out and be ridiculed. But what he's doing is so easy to follow. So here's his first follower with a crucial role. He's going to show everyone else how to follow. Now notice that the leader embraces him as an equal. So now it's not about the leader anymore, it's about them, plural. Now there he is calling to his friends. Now if you notice that the first follower is actually an underestimated form of leadership in itself. It takes guts to stand out like that. And here comes a second follower. Now it's not a lone nut, it's not two nuts, 3 is a crowd, and a crowd is news. So a movement must be public. It's important to show not just the leader, but the followers, because you find that new followers emulate the followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, and immediately after, 3 more people. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point. Now we've got a movement. So notice that as more people join in, it's less risky. So those that were sitting on the fence before now have no reason not to. They won't stand out. They won't be ridiculed, but they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. So over the next minute, you'll see all of the those that prefer to stick with the crowd, because eventually they would be ridiculed for not joining in. And that's how you make a movement.
So DJs deal with this all the time, trying to get dance floors going. People might want to dance, they just don't want to be the first ones out there. Building a fan base is very similar. The hardest part is getting people to support you in those early stages on the ground floor. Once you start getting momentum, people feel much safer participating, and that is called normative conformity. So what does this look like in action?
I would appreciate it if Spotify, Apple, they didn't post numbers. I've heard things with less streams that I'm way more inspired by that I think is way tighter than some of the stuff that has a bajillion streams. What I've noticed throughout all of it is that there comes this prowess with numbers that kind of inflates the opinion around what the art actually is, but art is also super subjective. In the age of 24-hour reviewers, or the kid that wants to be the funniest comment, negative or positive, and then kids who have no opinions because they're 14 and are going to like comment on the comment to be the one that has the top comment of the comment, and then a narrative springs forth in culture about a song that people don't even believe what the top comment was, they just know that that's what most people think.
For whatever reason, most people don't want to say, hey, this is my friend, I support this is cool. Even in my own personal experience, there were a bunch of people who would just kind of silently watch my stories on Instagram and social media, but as soon as the channel started growing and I got bigger cosigns from bigger DJs, all of a sudden those people who were just silently watching stuff, they started participating and showing interest. The stuff I was creating didn't change, in my opinion. I just started getting more eyes on what I was doing. Honestly, that's a perfect segue into the next factor, perception of value and influence. This could be social media hype or cosigns from friends and family. In closing, social proof dictates consumer behavior, and understanding the consumers is key to longevity in music. Social proof can work in your favor, and it can also keep you in artist purgatory. Honestly, I think this topic is really interesting. There's a bunch of social media gurus out there dunking on local musicians, gaslighting them, but there's so many aspects to it that a lot of people don't speak on. I speak from experience in a position of authority when I say it's not always that what you do is bad. Just having a big cosign helps out a lot. It just draws more attention to what you're doing, and people are more open-minded to what you create. There's much more to music than just shut up, don't speak on your experiences, post 24/7, and just get good. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. As always, I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.